Hello everyone, welcome to Red Dragon Model Works. Working today on this guy. I got to get it done, guys, I really do. Last update I had on this was about a month ago, maybe longer, and I had done this work here in the channels. So now I'm working on the top wing, the wing that goes on the top. So if you stick around, I'll show you what I'm doing. Be right back. All right, brothers. I had over the weekend a friend of mine, the basement modeler. He had given me a few pieces of resin, some resin greeblies, a couple of pieces here and there, and they are perfect for what I need here. So what I'm doing is on this wing here, I still haven't finished. This is the top wing, and I haven't finished this yet. I still need to put the piping inside here. But there's a piece here that goes here. And I didn't want to go just with the piping all the way down this. So that little resin piece fits really nice there. So that's what I'm doing. I have another piece which I just finished sanding. It's a little smaller. And that's going to sit right in here. So what I'm doing now, the drugstore specials. So what I'm doing now is I've got that taped in there, and I still need this being resin, I'm going to have to, well, it looks like resin, doesn't look like styrene, so I'm going to have to CA glue that down. So all I'm doing now is I'm just trying to smooth it out to where I get a nice smooth fit in there. I'm going to have to, this other little piece that I have here, try to figure out a way to sit that inside here on the bottom and close that in. So let me lower this a second here. I have this little piece here, and I'm just dry fitting them now because once you start gluing these in, forget it, you're never going to get them out. So I'm just trying to get them to sit just right inside here. It looks like I might have to do a little bit more sanding on this bottom piece here just to smooth it down just a hair. Alright, let me sand this down. I'll be right back. Alright, brothers. I've decided I was going to put this in flight, but decided I'd just go ahead and make a diorama out of it. So what I think I'm going to do is sit this on one end, and then I'll have a couple of ATSTs on the side. So as you can see, what I'm doing right now is just cleaning some of this flash off of it. These are the landing pads. The legs, the pads for the legs. Sorry about that. Landing legs. And what I'm doing is going in here and cleaning them up, because there is some really ugly flash in there. So I'm trying to smooth those out. Alright. Now these guys are going to take some putty work. And it's a terrible seam issues here. Let me show you what I mean. If I can get this thing to quit bouncing around on me. Yeah. All the way around. And that goes all the way around. So that's going to take some massive work there. And then this sits right in here. So before I do any of that, I'm going to have to do some putty work. So I'm going to use some thick glue on this. Instead of my usual thin stuff. Get that glued down real good. And then clamp them. And then it's going to take a lot of sanding. Okay. So we got that. And as you can see, she is going to take a lot of putty, guys. And get that closed right there. And she's not going to want to close up. Yeah, it's going to have to go like that. All right. Yeah. I'm going to have to, right in here, sand that down. They don't line up. God darn it. They don't line up. So these old kits, man. Yeah. This is going to be a bummer. Yeah. That's going to take, I'm going to have to, here, let me show you guys. Right here, that's going to have to be sanded down. That little lip right there. That's not too bad. I can do that. It's just this other side right here. It's going to take some putty work in there, in the back. But that's all right. It's an old kit. I knew that was going to happen. So let's work on this other leg here. Try not to screw this up. Get that cleaned out. Very carefully nip this piece. There we go. Take my knife, a little scrape in there. A little this overpriced to me sandpaper. Knock off some of these rough edges. I think I'm going to put some wire in here. You know, give it some cable. There's a little lip on here. There we go. Get that off of there. And there's a rough little right there. Scoop that off. You know, I don't build as fast as some of you guys do, man. You guys, man, you're cranking them out. You know, I'd like to build a little faster, but I can only sit for so long, so. All right. Let's see if we got this. All right, let's cut this off its tree. Look at all that flash, guys. Remember these? Hack right away at it. That way you don't dull up your good ones. Yeah, a lot of flash again. Yep. This thing's been staring at me, and I really want to get it done. I wanted to light it up, but you know, the more I thought about it, those skills aren't there yet. I got basic skills, and I can't light up an Enterprise, but this wouldn't have been too hard. So I picked up another one. And then later on, I'll pick up some LED tape. I think that's what I'll do it with this one, some LED tape. With the next one, rather. This thing here, it's got some really bad fit issues, though. And it's taken a lot of work. I remember when I first built this 20-something odd years ago. God, I didn't go through all this trouble. I just slapped it together. But as you get more and more into this hobby, and you want to perfect your art, you know, you start taking a little bit more time. I think the last time I did it, when I bought this back in the early 80s, it was just rattle canned. Now I'm planning it out. I got quite a few hours in this little guy alone. Quite a few hours. But hopefully all that work will pay off in the end on it. And it'll look nice. You know, this one's going to my grandson, Thorn. So I want him to have a nice little kit, you know. Maybe one day when the old man's gone. You know, you see, my grandpa made that for me, you know, many, many years ago. Who knows? If he doesn't play with it and destroy it. But we shall see. Kids will be kids, huh? Alright. There is some really nasty mold lines here. Those have got to come off. I don't see anything else here that'll impede that. Other than here, there's those mold lines there. Now there's some pin marks. But, you know, you're not going to see that because that's going to be inside the ship. So, alright, let's take a look at this one, see how bad this one is. I'm half tempted just to cut these locator pins off and see if I can slide it around, but that's what I usually do when they don't fit. I'll just cut those locator pins out. Yeah, see, here we go again. This thing doesn't even fit right. Look at it. Okay, what do we have to do here? You kind of make me wish I did put it on a stand and inflate. Yeah, this is going to be rough. This one's not even fitting. Doesn't fit at all. Okay, Gilbert. How are we going to get that to close in there? Yeah, that's terrible. That is terrible. That's going to take an awful lot of glue. That's going to take an awful lot of, I'm sorry, not glue, but putty. Looks like something right about here is binding up on it. Let's try that again. Yeah. There it is right there. It's this piece right here. It's almost there. You still got that big gap there. I'm going to have a gap in there anyway, but I'm going to try to minimize it. Don't know why it's not closing in. I think it has to do with this piece right here. Alright, let's see if that works, huh? I don't know. Let's go one more time now. Yeah, see, it's getting there. I can still see the little lip on it. It's right here, right in this little corner here. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Still going to need some putty, but that's a lot better. All right. Let's get this glued down, and then we can start working on other parts. And there she is. All right. So get that clamp down. Okay. using the testers. And there's no, that testers works just as good as that Tamiya, guys. There's no reason why you should spend $2 more for Tamiya when you can get the same thing out of the testers. Works just as good. Now, don't get me wrong, Tamiya's good. I got a bottle, 2 of them, right here. But this testers works just as great. The only problem with the testers is, and you'll see me jumping back and forth between the testers and the Tamiya dries faster. And for the little things like I'm doing here, I'll use the Tamiya. All right. I think, now maybe it's just me, but I think that the testers runs a little hotter. And this styrene is thick. So I want something a little hotter in there. I keep these little guys are a godsend. I have to pick me up some more of these. I forgot where I found them, but I'm sure I can get them anywhere, like a Home Depot or something like that. Yeah, it didn't close down. Get that in there. Yeah, see, she pulled out. There we go. There we go. Get that to close down a little bit better. All right, let's set that off to the side now. So another piece I'm missing here. I'll be right back, guys. It's been a long night. I don't get much done during the week when I got my grandson here. But I was starting to close this up. And as you can see, it's going to be a real bear to get it closed. Now, I know Cohen mentioned a while back that he wants to build one of these for a friend of his. Well, I'm going to show you something, Cohen. The bottom part here. There's a fit issue. Right here. And this end here. Where it fits into this. Where it slides right in here like this here. You see how it's a nice fit right now. And once you pull it in tight and you glue it, it'll go in nice. It wasn't always like that. I had to take one of these, rounded on one end, and go in and put a bevel right in here on both ends. I had a hell of a time trying to get this to close. Also, there are some locator pins on the bottom. You can see them right there. When there's one there, there's one up here, here, and back here. I ended up having to cut one off because with those locator pins, it wasn't allowing it to line up. So now it does, at least so far. So I'm at the point now where I'm getting ready to button this up so I can start gluing it all down. And when I did that, originally, this side here would not close. This lip right here was sticking out. I also pulled the one out of my in the box that I have, and just for shits and grins, tried to put it together. Same problem. So you're going to have to sand these edges, this part here, where all this goes in. You're going to have to go in there with a file and just lightly sand away at them until you can get them to fit. And now you see that it'll close up. Now once you put the glue in there, once you glue it down, I'm still going to have to go in there with putty all up in here. I think what I'll probably end up using, well, it all depends on how tight it closes up. But I'm going to have to do, it's going to need putty. You see that, guys? There's that seam right there. So she's going to need putty. So I'm going to sit this down for now. This is going to get done this weekend. By Saturday, this will be done. Ready for paint. But as you can see, you hear it? Yeah. As you can see, that seam. Now, I'm going to have to, when I glue this, it's going to have to be very carefully, piece by piece, so I can get it to come down. And I'm going to have to use a very, very good glue. I think with this, I'm going to probably end up using this. This stuff here is very hot, very good. This stuff is a lot better than Tamiya or Testors. Runs very hot, and once you glue something down with this, it ain't coming loose. So that's where I'm at now. You can still see the inside of that where I did that. I'm going to have to go in there before I close it up. Take this down. This is going to be shot the same color as the rest of it, so that's just black for the time being. When I was painting the inside, I didn't care too much, so I just shot it all out. But I'm going to have to go in, once I shoot all that, I want those shadows to show up in there. And then I'll probably go in there and dry brush it. The other thing I have here, I'd like to show you, is for the landing gear. I'm going to put some cables. I have a friend of mine, and I mentioned him earlier, good brother, you know, basement modeler. He had some extra greeblies laying around, and he gave me some of them, and they're resin. Now, I was going to do that with these, but as you can see on my computer back there, I have the studio version of this, and it doesn't have that real big, you know, piece there. It's got a few things in there, but that would have been too busy. So what I think I'm going to do is, rather than trying to overanalyze this like I'm apt to do, I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to probably put 2 pieces of and a couple of pieces of this, and run them inside there side by side, and then a piece up in here, right in here in this corner. Get some square stock, put it in here. And a couple of pieces here, another piece down here, join them together, and then all the way up the channel like I did with those. I want them all to match. It's not going to look right if it doesn't. So I'm going to do that so they match all the way around. For the legs, I have there's some if I can find them here, guys. I have some resin hose, 2 pieces of resin hose. These are all little resin pieces I got here. I'll show you guys in a second. I wanted to get the top wing done today, but that's a lot of measuring, cutting, and I was not in the mood to do it. But what I think I'm going to do with this is there's a bar here. This little guy sits in here like so, and then it connects to the top of the ship like that. So I'm thinking this might be too big, but something like this, yeah, well, see, that's not going to reach all the way up to the top though. That would have been perfect. That would have been perfect. You know, something like that, you know, coming from down here, maybe like right in there, all the way up. Wouldn't that would have been cool. It's like that. So I'm going to see if I can find something smaller like this, and then run it from here to the. Show you guys. This it sits in here like so, and then run a piece either behind it or from here, run it up in there. I think that'll give it a little bit more. You know, you got some cables. If not, I'll probably just use some wire. You know. Yeah, I got it late, a couple of rolls of it over here, so I'll probably use some wire, you know, to run up in there. You know, give it like it's got some hydraulic lines and stuff. But yeah, she's almost ready to get buttoned up. I just got to put these glue this up, put the legs on, finish dry brushing the inside of this. Get that in there, like so. And then I need to put something here because there's going to be a pretty big gap there. And when you put this in here, it doesn't close out. It doesn't, unless I sand this down a little bit to make it sit a little flusher. But I think once it's glued in there, see, you don't see that seam anymore. And I was going to put this in flight, but I think what I'm going to do now, and after giving it much thought today, you know, tonight, I think I'm going to just leave it up in flight like so, or up in the landing mode like so. With this coming down, I'm going to put Vader right here. Build a diorama, you know, and have him coming out. Now, I would have liked to have built, you know, lit up the diorama, but it's not going to make sense because this is not lit up. The next one I do will be like that. I'll put the lights here, the big light down here. But we'll see. I still might do it. I don't know. And I still got to add the gun in the back there. So I had added some tubing back there. You see that? And give it a little bit more, you know, 3D dimension to it. The next one I'm going to do is I'll cut this all out and I'll put a diode in there, you know, one of those tubes in there. But we'll see. That's it for now, guys. I know I said I wanted to get this a lot of work done, and I still got to put these in here too. But I want to get this done. This, believe it or not, putting those in there, that's going to take some time because you got to cut them, you know, put them in there, you know. But I think it adds that little dimension to them. It gives it that little punch, you know, because right now it's just empty. There's nothing there. Not only that, I'm also going to add some little pieces, you know, like here, one there, you know, just to give it another, oh, I'm sorry, you didn't see that. I'm going to add some, like, little pieces of strip styrene here, here, you know, random, just to break that up a little bit. But she's almost done. I still got this guy that I'm working on, that guy I'm working on for the group build, and I have the two Vipers that I got to still finish. So I'd like to get this off my bench so I can work on those. I'm glad I got till January 1st, man. I got to get off my high horse here and start getting something done. So hey, Colin, if you're gonna build one of these, there's some fit issues on it, brother. You need to watch out for those, man. I mean, it's a beautiful kit. It's a classic, you know. It's one of their better kits, you know, better Star Wars kits from the back in the day. But it has problems, man. It has fit issues. So if you can get past those, this builds up to be a really nice kit. That's it for tonight, guys. You guys have a great evening, man. It's the Red Dragon saying peace, brothers. You keep on modeling, brothers. Ciao.